You've been lied to. Everything you think you know about women is wrong. All the effort, attention, and care you're pouring into relationships, it's a waste. But you're not the problem. The problem is, you've been following rules that were never meant to help you win. Want to know why? Stay with me for the next few minutes, and I'll show you the 5 truths about women that most men only learn after it's too late. Number 1. Chasing never works. Let's break this down. Chasing women doesn't make you more desirable. It makes you invisible. Society has conditioned you to believe that if you just show enough interest, enough persistence, and enough effort, she'll finally see your worth. But ask yourself, has that ever really worked? How many times have you tried to chase someone only to be met with cold responses or total disinterest? The more you run after her, the further she gets. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're chasing a butterfly. The harder you run, the more it flies away from you. Now, what happens when you stop chasing? That's right. It may come back to you. That's human nature. We desire what seems elusive. The more you chase, the more you tell her that you're too available, and that kills attraction. You've been misled by movies, romance novels, and bad advice from people who don't know better. Here's the reality. Women are biologically wired to be attracted to men who don't chase after them. It's about respect. When you chase, you tell her you have nothing else going on in your life. You signal desperation. And desperation is unattractive because it shows that you're willing to lower your standards just to gain her approval. But here's the kicker. The moment you stop chasing, things start to change. When you stop running after her, you take your power back. You become more mysterious, more interesting. She starts wondering why you're not chasing anymore, and that's when she becomes intrigued. When you focus on building your own life, your goals, your purpose, your health, you shift the dynamic completely. Suddenly, she's the one thinking about you. Think of it this way. The most attractive man in the room isn't the one running around seeking attention. He's the one who's calm, composed, and in control. He doesn't need anyone to validate him because he knows his worth. That's the kind of man you need to be. Take Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher king. He ruled the Roman Empire, one of the largest empires in history, without ever needing to chase anyone's approval. He lived by principles, focused on his purpose, and people respected him for it. The same goes for you. If you're constantly chasing after women, you're not living your purpose. You're living for someone else's validation, and that's why things never work out. So, what's the takeaway? Stop chasing. Start attracting. When you invest in yourself, your mind, your body, your goals, you naturally become more attractive. Women will notice because a man who values himself will always be valued by others. Number 2. Appearance matters. You've probably heard the saying, "Don't judge a book by its cover." But here's the reality. In the world of relationships, appearances matter, and they matter more than you think. First impressions are everything. When you walk into a room, the first thing people notice is how you look, your posture, your grooming, the way you carry yourself. And before you've even said a word, they've already made judgments about you. Now, I'm not saying you need to look like a model, but if you're walking around looking sloppy, disheveled, or unkempt, what message are you sending? You're telling the world, and more importantly yourself, that you don't respect yourself enough to take care of your appearance. And if you don't respect yourself, why should anyone else? Women notice everything. They notice how you dress, how you present yourself, how you carry yourself. They're drawn to men who look like they've got their lives together. A man who takes care of his appearance communicates discipline, self-respect, and confidence. And confidence, my friend, is magnetic. It's not just about physical attraction. It's about the signals you send. When you dress well, when you groom yourself, When you hit the gym and take care of your body, you're telling the world that you value yourself, that you have discipline, that you have standards, that you take pride in who you are. And that kind of energy is irresistible. Think of it like this. When you see a well-dressed man who walks with confidence, you automatically assume he's successful, right? It's not just because of the clothes, it's the way he carries himself. That's the energy you need to project. Women are attracted to men who exude confidence, who look like they've got their life in order. And don't get it twisted. This isn't about being vain or obsessed with your looks. It's about respect. When you respect yourself, others will respect you too, and it all starts with how you present yourself to the world. Number 3. Being too nice won't win her heart. Now let's talk about the nice guy syndrome. You've been told that being nice, being understanding, being accommodating will make women fall for you. You've been conditioned to think that if you're just sweet enough, she'll eventually see your value. But here's the reality. Being too nice doesn't win her heart. It makes you invisible. Think about it. How many times have you bent over backward to accommodate her needs, hoping that your kindness would win her over? You put her first. You avoid conflict. You never challenge her. And what happens? She loses interest. She stops respecting you. Why? Because women respect strength. And being overly nice, overly accommodating, overly agreeable? That's not strength. That's weakness. When you're constantly trying to please her, you're sending a clear message. You don't have boundaries. You don't have standards. You're willing to sacrifice your own values just to keep her happy. And that's a turn-off. Here's the truth. Women don't want a man who bends to their every whim. They want a man who knows what he wants, who has his own standards, who's not afraid to say no. A man who respects himself enough to set boundaries. A man who's not afraid of conflict because he knows his worth. Think about the guys who always get the girl. Are they the ones who are always agreeing with everything she says, always bending over backward to please her? No, they're the ones who stand firm in their values. They're the ones who challenge her, who keep her on her toes, who aren't afraid to walk away if the relationship doesn't align with their standards. And that's the key. Standards. You've got to have them. If you don't, you'll end up being taken for granted. You've got to respect yourself enough to set boundaries. And when you do that, you'll notice something interesting. Women will start respecting you too. The Stoics believed in living by principles, not by emotions. And that's the mindset you need to adopt. Live by your principles. Don't compromise on your values just to please someone else. Because the moment you do, you lose respect, and without respect, there's no attraction. Number 4. Money and status speak loudly. Let's not dance around this. Money and status matter. You've been told that women don't care about money, that it's shallow to think that financial success has anything to do with relationships. But here's the harsh truth. Money and status speak louder than words, and they've always been attractive. Why? Because money and status represent power, control, and security. And security is one of the most fundamental needs in a relationship. Women are biologically wired to seek out partners who can provide stability. It's not about being a gold digger. It's about survival. It's about the need for a safe, secure future. Think about it. Throughout history, women have gravitated towards men who could provide them with resources and security. It's ingrained in our biology. But here's the thing. It's not just about having money. It's about what that money represents. Financial stability shows that you've got discipline, that you're responsible, that you can take care of yourself, and potentially a family. Let me put it another way. When you've got your finances in order, when you've built a successful career, you're showing the world that you've mastered one of life's biggest challenges. And that kind of mastery is attractive. It's not just about the material wealth. It's about what it says about you as a man. But don't get it twisted. Money alone won't keep her. You can't rely on your bank account to make her stay. What you need is a balance. You need to be financially stable, yes, but you also need to be emotionally stable, mentally stable. You need to be the kind of man who can provide security on all fronts, not just financially. The truth is, if you don't have your life together, if you're struggling to pay your bills, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, it's going to be hard to attract the kind of women you want. You need to get your financial house in order. You need to focus on building your own success, your own empire. And when you do that, women will naturally be drawn to you because they see you as a man who's got it all together. Number 5, emotional men push women away. Here's another harsh truth. Emotions, when unchecked, push people away. We've been told to be vulnerable, to open up, to express our feelings. And while there's a place for emotional honesty, there's a fine line between being emotionally open and emotionally unstable. Have you ever let your emotions get the best of you? Maybe you got angry or jealous or frustrated and things spiraled out of control. Maybe you said something in the heat of the moment that you later regretted. The problem with emotions is that when they're not controlled, they lead to chaos. And chaos is the last thing you want in a relationship. The Stoics understood this well. They didn't suppress their emotions, they mastered them. They understood that true strength comes from controlling your emotions, not being controlled by them. And that's what women want. They want a man who's emotionally strong, who can stay calm under pressure, who doesn't react impulsively to every little thing. When you're emotionally unstable, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability, while it can be exciting in the short term, becomes exhausting in the long term. Women don't want to be with someone who's constantly on an emotional roller coaster. They want stability. They want a man they can rely on, a man who's got his emotions in check. That's not to say you should suppress your feelings or pretend you don't have them, but emotional intelligence is about knowing when to express your emotions and how to express them in a healthy, balanced way. It's about staying calm and composed in the face of challenges, and that's what makes you attractive. So now you know. The 5 harsh truths about women that most men ignore until it's too late. But here's the thing. These truths aren't just about women. They're about you. About becoming the man who commands respect, who lives with purpose, and who never chases validation. When you apply these lessons, you're not just changing your relationships, you're transforming your entire life. Don't waste another day living by outdated, ineffective rules. It's time to rewrite your story. Take control of your life, focus on your mission, and let everything else follow naturally. When you start living by these principles, you'll notice a shift, not just in how others see you, but in how you see yourself. So, what's next? Will you take action? Drop a challenge accepted in the comments if you're ready to stop chasing and start becoming. Hit that subscribe button and join a community of men dedicated to mastering themselves and living with purpose. Remember, your journey begins now, and the only person standing in your way is you.